Hey there, Forrest here, and today I have 3 things that I learned from a Taoist master that absolutely changed my life. And what is a Taoist master? Who is a Taoist master? Well, let me back up just a little bit. Is at one point in my life, before I became a fitness expert, before I became a speaker and an author and a boot camp owner, an entrepreneur, a dad, all those different things, I was having a very rough time in life, depression, numbing myself with drugs and alcohol, feeling of isolation, feeling of not being welcomed or not being a part of this world. And I felt very isolated and alone, and it caused me to really wreak havoc on my life and almost self-destruct until I started to study myself at a deeper level and under the tutelage of a Taoist master that I happened to come across in my very early 20s. That changed everything. So Taoist master, what is that? A Taoist master is somebody who lives in accordance with nature, who works life through an inner knowing and an outer skill set, so that he or she is navigating through life in accordance with nature. And so that's what a Taoist master basically is. So back to the 3 things. So the 3 things I learned, number 1, things that I learned from a Taoist master that changed my life is perspective. Okay, I'm going to show you 4 perspectives right now. Perspective number 1. Perspective number 2. Perspective number 3. Perspective number 4. All right, so I showed you 4 different perspectives, right? And so what I want to know from you is, showed you this one, showed you this one, showed you this one, showed you this one. Which one is right? 4 different perspectives. Which is the correct perspective, right? I'm showing you a water bottle, basically. But which one is the correct perspective? Do you know? Can you give me that answer? Well, none of these perspectives are the wrong perspective, and none of them are the right perspective. They're just different perspectives. And you can even take more perspectives. You can open it up and see the functionality of it. Here we got a little water bottle. It's carrying water. It's got a cap. So one person may have seen it and said, well, the perspective with the little guy on it, that's my perspective. That's the correct perspective. And somebody else might have said, well, the perspective with the lid. I see the lid and I know its functionality. That's my perspective. That's the correct perspective. Well, no, I see the whole water bottle. That's my perspective. That's the right one. Or I see blue, right? Blue surface. So the correct answer is none of those perspectives are right. None of them are wrong. They're just perspectives. And once I got that and started to understand, I stopped fighting over politics. I stopped fighting over ideologies. I stopped associating myself so grippingly with a certain vision of who I was and who other people were. And I started just to see people as people and myself as just a person with good and bad and everything in between. I stopped judging so much, and I think that as human beings, we are just constantly analyzing and judging, and based on our past experiences, we can be dismissing a lot of great stuff that's coming our way, which I was doing at the time, and not even be aware of it. So that's the first one, is perspective. Number 2 is the masks. The masks that we wear in life. I bought this for my daughter when I was going through New Orleans, and don't we wear a lot of masks in life? Mask for being a husband or a wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, grandmother, a kid, teacher, professor, a scientist, a mechanic, a janitor, a shy person, an outgoing person, introvert, extrovert. We wear so many different masks to so many different people. When do we get a chance to take off the mask and really be ourselves? Right? So when I learned how to take off all the masks and all the layers, I could finally just be myself and be unencumbered by all those layers of who I thought I was, my ego, my self-identity. Those are all false views of yourself anyways, and they're very limited, okay? And the third thing I learned is to go inside and to interrupt the noise, okay? Through silence, through meditation, interrupting the noise, the constant head chatter of what's going on back here, the limiting self-beliefs, the negative self-talk, and that stuff back here is all conditioning and programming from our environment. We pick up things from our teachers and our friends and news media and social media, and we have a certain perspective on what we pick up, and then we create an expectation series, and that is where our life goes. So instead of having direction in our life and creating our life on purpose, we become like a feather in the wind and we're all over the place. So that's number 3. So hopefully these gave you some insight into yourself, and we are going to be doing a retreat coming up, so I'll include a link below. Hopefully you can make it to that retreat where you'll be learning these insights, learning these tools, techniques, and strategies to help you with your fitness lifestyle, to help you as maybe a parent, or help you in your career, or just help you in your life in general, become the best self that you can be. Okay, not trying to be like anyone else, just trying to get more out of your life. So I hope to see you there. Have a great day.